Hello, it's XJ9 again, and we're doing a 9.14 patch notes. And these patch notes, I'm not even sure. I didn't read it yet, but I did see the PB, and a lot of it was a bunch of really stuff I don't like. And apparently, a pet went through, so we're gonna see what. Yeah, GG. We're gonna see how it goes. I have a bad feeling about this, so we're gonna see how it goes. Let's see. I don't care about team fight tactics. So Blitzcrank R now destroys shields on enemies before dealing damage and silencing. Static field on remove shields on enemies. How do I feel about that? Okay. First off, I'm not a big fan of this because I feel like if we want anti-shield mechanics, it should be an item. I don't know why champions aren't inherently getting them because that's just it's a big straight up buff on champions, and it's funny they're doing it to Blitzcrank because yeah, in for example in Dota, they have some extremely powerful items, but like it's not good to rush them. Like if someone were to rush that item, they would get demolished because it's not good. You're supposed to buy early game, mid game, and then late game items. In League, it's just rush a late game item and you win the game. And I think that's the biggest issue is that items are just like 1 to 2 items are it's just too big of a power spike. So that's the issue that they should be addressing honestly. Uh, it's funny they're doing the Blitzcrank though because Blitzcrank has Blitzcrank was the first hook champion, then it was Thresh, then Pyke. Oh no, it was Nawless, Thresh, then Pyke. So there's four hook champions, and Blitzcrank is the one that has been neglected because he's not as safe as the other ones. He doesn't have a shield. He doesn't have a slow. He sort of just dies afterwards. So I think that's the biggest issue is even making those champions to begin with. Like I would probably even just rework those champions and realize, oh, there should only be like one hook champion. So I really don't agree with this. Like these changes are just ridiculous, honestly. Uh, okay, Renekton empowered W now breaks shields on targets before silencing and damage and stunning. Okay, th- it's funny they did that because right here it says we were very selective in the champions we chose these to add these mechanics to. Keep in mind their status in the game currently. Okay, guys, can you guys tell me what's the status of Renekton? He's played in all levels of play. He's like the easiest top laner, like your baby's first top laner, like right there with Ken and Vladimir. Like those are the top three babies first top laner, and he's I every time I look at what do you call it, LCS or LCK, I see Renekton sometimes. It's like so we're gonna give him a ridiculous buff. It's like he demolishes Camille, demolishes Riven. Riven gets even more demolished. It's just why like building Steric's Gauge is terrible against him now. So yeah, I don't know why they just straight up buffed him. Like, why didn't they give this effect to like Vi or something? If they were to like, no matter what, why not give it to someone like Vi? Like, oh, is Vi just going to be destined to be a noob stomper or something? So continue on anti healing champions. So all it is Academy's R is 60% healing reduction from 40, and Cled's his pull. I believe he needs to pull them in though. I'm not sure about that. Pulling enemy, yeah. So yeah, he has a hook them, wait, and then pull them, and it will be 60% for 5 seconds. Uh, People on the board have said that change doesn't do anything because Cled's biggest issues is late game sucks or something like that. So we're gonna see how that happens, but again, like I just don't agree with this added on power on all these champions. The counter change is actually not as big as the Kled change because Kled didn't have any healing reduction, and counter just got a buff in the healing reduction, and so the counter one's probably like a bit smaller. The Kled one's a lot bigger. Probably gonna see Kled just because I don't know, people don't know how to fight Kled at all, so they usually just feed, which is his strongest point in the game, which is early mid game. Flat damage reduction. This okay. Pass reduces all sorts of damage. Damage reduction went from all basic attacks to 4+ ability power. So just pretty much just in general, he's just a bit more tankier. I mean, I guess they want people to play more Fizz or something like that. I don't like Fizz. I remember I used to play jungle and middle, and I stopped playing middle because of like champions like Fizz and Yasuo just because they're boring to verse. Like I really miss the control mage matchups back in like season 1, 2, and 3, but that doesn't exist anymore. Uh, oh, the Leona buff's really big. So her W now 8 to 24 pre-mitigation damage reduction. Max at 50%, and her armor and matrices went lower. It's not as big of a deal. No, this is a huge because she always runs aftershock, and having too much excess armor is really bad because she already builds tanky armor things. She's not like AP or anything. So this buff actually helps her a lot. You're probably gonna see quite a bit more Leona because she's gonna be a lot more tankier against like even like high attack speed champions like multiple hit champions. I can't really name it right now, but yeah. Uh, her R Leona no longer gains empowered basic attacks. That's not a big deal because I mean that's not her job anyway, so it doesn't really matter. True sight champions. W never provides true time related targets. It's just yeah, the counterplay. Um, the only real stealth champions. Wait, focus resolve renew now reveals successful rooted targets for the duration. I'm guessing like even in bushes and stuff. So I mean, it's supposed to be like more so for against stealth targets. So like Akali and I don't know what else because like Evelyn like breaks stealth. Twitch sort of, not really. Cause yeah, I guess it's just really for Akali and I don't know who else. And it's the same thing with LeBlanc's E. That's a big LeBlanc buff. That's a really big LeBlanc buff against Akali versus LeBlanc. Stun targets. Well, I thought they were giving this to Lee as well with his E. I guess they aren't. That's strange. I thought there was a buff. I remember they were like, "Oh yeah, we want Lee to have his E as well." I don't know what happened. They did what? Oh, that's strange. That's weird. Because this E is actually a reveal. I guess I guess instead of having it be a real reveal, they're like, "Oh, let's make other ability." Like what? Yeah, they were. I guess they got rid of the Lulu and Lee true sight. It's just funny because that makes more sense because it's on you, and that's what Lee's E already did. And that's what Lulu, yeah, and to me, these type of things, honestly, like when you don't have it be an actual item and it's an ability, it it, it adds a lot more like confusion in the game. I would say like like a new player or even like a gold player like doing like what the fuck is that like how, I just see it as a potential big mess coming up because like imagine they did this to every champion. You know how hard it would be for people to remember like, oh, can't build that against that champion, not because of an item, it's just because of how they are. Yeah. And the RE change, um, the biggest deal would probably be with I don't know, like Camille, Azir, and like I don't know what else. Well, I think I already canceled Camille's dash. I don't know. I don't think it did actually. I don't know. Uh, Ari's probably just a big counter to Rengar now. So if you hate Rengar, probably play Ari with a charm. That's actually hilarious. Because now the pounce won't actually finish. So well, not really because if you hit it, I mean, it not real, not no, not really. It doesn't really affect that. This is more so like a big fu to like Kha'Zix and Rengar. No, yeah, no, it doesn't because those are small mini dashes. Like it would barely have an impact, and to get a mid dash, it would be even harder. These Kha'Zix and Rengar are like they jump in a straight line to you, so that's always a big counter to those two champions. Cass is getting big changes. Cass getting above her ability cast. That's big because of ping champions. I'm not sure if Aurelia has that. Her HP, base HP went up by like 40 or pretty much 40. 30. Health growth went up. So now she has a total of like, I don't know, like 120 more HP or something like that. Her mana went a bit lower, but her mana growth went higher. But that's okay because I don't really think she should have mana issues. Her armor went lower, so ADs are her counter. No minimum cast range, maximum cast range about 100. Cooldown of it is a lot lower at higher ranks, but longer and shorter. Cassie heals for 75 and less when she poisons minions and monsters, but she heals for 13 to 25% of her ability power instead of like a flat amount plus a little bit of ability power. Probably encouraging like AP nukes or something like that. And her cost is 50 now, which actually help. Well, yeah, so it's like a bit of an early game nerf, but not really because early game's like over in like 3 seconds. So I don't know. Skill shot champions like Cass, unless they're like borderline easy lane broken, aren't usually played. So we'll see how that goes. Poppy's if Poppy stops an enemy from dashing or casting a movement ability, she grounds and souls them by 25% for 2 seconds. That's literally ridiculous. Movement speed duration to 2 seconds from 2.5. But once movement speed went up, that's how it's sort of evens out a tiny bit. 2 second ground is insane. I've heard ground's not rude. I think you can still move, you just can't do anything. Like flash and stuff, I think. That's pretty crazy. Aatrox, HP growth went up by 0.25 to 1. Yeah, they got rid of Aatrox revive, but it's honestly funny because he's honestly probably way stronger now because I really don't understand the whole thing with Aatrox. Oh, he's broken because of the revive because I've never really seen it do anything. And yes, I know, oh, we can't focus him because he'll just revive. I've never even seen that like take effect ever. Like even in pro play, Aatrox even loses lane or like he doesn't actually do much in the game unless like the team throws like Baron or something. So if anything, this is actually a huge buff because it's like, well, what's the point of a revive mechanic if he just heals so much and it's up so much? So in all honesty, I don't even understand why. Like this is honestly a big buff to Aatrox. So I don't honestly understand why they're even doing that because I don't find the revive mechanic an issue. Yeah, everyone and their mother in Riot just keep saying, "Oh, the revive is broken." I've never seen it be broken before. Like I just don't understand it. People just don't like buying executioner's callings and stuff. Oh god, these fucking changes. There's so many things to patch. Okay, so Akali, magic resist went up better against mages. HP growth went up by 10. That's insane because now she gets 180 HP. I think it's either 180 or 170. I think it's 180 though. Maybe it's 170. I think it's 170 HP more. So base stats, those are already a huge buff. Her Q damage went up 0.1 more ratio, 2.6. So, revealed by True Sight, Rip Challenging Smite. Her W is now 20 seconds, which is a buff until level 13 or 12, I think. I think level 12. Well, yeah, it's pretty much a buff until level 12-ish. Like, the 1 second doesn't really matter. And reduce for 80. That's a huge buff. 80 energy at all rings. That's pretty insane. It's not extended though, so it's need to be. That's not a big deal either. Well, it sort of is. It just depends on the skill level. The shuriken damage, base damage went lower. Quite a lot. And the bonus attack damage is lower. But it does have an AP ratio now, so it probably evens out. It's probably just quite a bit weaker earlier, though. Yeah, it's definitely weaker earlier. And her better dash damage. Yeah, her ease is pretty much just weaker, but it's stronger after like an item. Because this has an AP ratio, and the cooldown of her R went up by a ton, so that's quite bad. We'll see how that goes. It just looks like she could maybe like lane bully more instead of being that split push. Needs an item to do things. Alistar's mana went up by a ton. Mana growth went up by a ton. Uh, I guess there's an Alistar skin coming, guys. In general, let's see. His stun duration went by a lot after shot every 5 seconds. That's a huge R and a soul buff. They pretty much gave back because his stun used to be, I think, 2.2 to 3 seconds, but they pretty much just rebuffed it. And now the star even grows bigger. And they made uh, his his E bonus scale per level, I believe. Yeah. So yeah, maybe you'll see more of him if he's just absolutely broken because people were playing him a lot when he was just broken, just instant win lane because he's extremely strong in the late game. Bard's HP went by 40. HP regen went lower. Travel speed of Magical Journey went up by 100. Movement speed 33%. This is a huge buff for Bard. Because there's a whole thing about other people in NA. Everyone maxes E because they don't like supporting, and in Korea they like maxing the heal because they actually support, and they just running around roaming like a retard. Diana is apparently broken. Her passive no longer occasionally. I don't know where she was played in. What was she playing at Pro 20? I don't know. But no longer occasionally do unintended additional damage to turrets. Q, inner arc speed, by 200. They just buffed this, so I don't know if this is a revert or not. So that's interesting. Her W costs a lot more. The rush can no longer be reset twice when it's time with a new application. What the fuck? That's weird. Well, you have to like max hero for that. You'd just be pretty bad to get hit by that 2 times though. Unintended power consequences. Like, is this funny? Because it's like they buff the shit out of all these other champions, but they don't even do anything. But oh, Diana, yeah, yeah. I'll talk about that later. Galio, yeah, I already know these changes. Mana growth went up by 20. He's easier to play because now his abilities don't reduce his passive, but his passive is shorter. His damage is a lot higher now on his passive as well. Scale is better with match resist. Has the same total AD though, which you don't build. Same ability power, just more magic resist and more raw base damage. Winds of War, higher cooldown in all ranks. Gust damage went up though, and lower mana cost at later ranks. Yeah, can have flash. That was the biggest power issue with them, but now they can buff the heck out of them because of it. You might see a lot of Galio mid. I think Galio is actually quite good when I've seen it. It shows running can now be interrupted by all the usual CC effects that interrupts channels, so like stuns and stuff. That's quite a big. The one interesting thing is I wonder if it gets interrupted or just cancels. So that's the big question. And the space self slow is lowered. The Jhin, this is a huge buff. It's from 14 to 12 seconds on his W, and the root duration went up by 0.25. That's really good because there was always a big debate on, oh, do you max your W for a second? And it was just like, the W always felt like meh, and especially because of Merc Treads. And his E was, I don't know, it would be like, it would only really be good if you were like ahead and like setting up a Baron, but now it's like, I don't know, it's pretty obvious you would get W, honestly. Lux support was A's apparently. Her Q longer ring early because they don't max it. And Lux support, it's short at the max strength though. Higher mana cost and they don't max it, so it hurts her. And now it's the same as the returning shield is not double the amount of the when you shoot it, like not the same amount. I mean, it's not double anymore. It's just gonna be the same. Ratio went up though, which buffs Lux mid more. Well, that's not really a buff, it's more like it just keeps it the same. And maximum shield went lower at pretty much all ranks. The duration also went lower. Yeah, that duration was insane. So, uh, Lux middle is like the same for the most part, except when with like the shield duration nerf and early on. But as the game goes on, she should be fine. Final Spark now learns a percentage of its maximum cooldown when hitting at least one champion when that dies within 1.75 seconds. But they lowered the cooldown, and that was more so again for like Lux support, and it's a bit lower at second and third rank. But they buffed the hell out of the ratio, so yeah, Lux middle. Valify has new visual effects. It's like Swan or something. Well, who freak cares? This visual stuff. Who would build 850 armor? Although as is W. That's pretty big because it means his Q will hit longer because sometimes you would be chasing, it would take too long to hit. The nearest get away. The slow duration went up by a lot at all ranks. The slow duration, but went lower, but that's fine. I said that's better to have. This is a bit weaker early. I'm not sure what you max at first. And his new W, instead of just being a empowered autos, is Malphite's expected attack within 6 seconds, gains 50 increased range and deals overall amount of damage, AP, and armor. Bonus physical damage. For the next 5 seconds after casting Malphite's basic attacks, cleave enemies and confirm dealing 10, 20, 30, 50, plus armor and ability power, physical damage to enemies hit. Cost is pretty cheap. 25 to 30 to 50. And it's also an auto reset, I believe. So, yeah, giving a champion auto reset, you're sure to be good. Mord was apparently still broken. I don't know. I don't really play that much, but I mean, it mostly just hurts his mid game and late game. His early game is for the most part pretty much the same because you have to realize. So yeah, from 8 to 25 to 5 to 15, but at level 1 it's only like 3 less. So like like level 6 is probably like what, like 5 less or something like that at that point. It's not that big of a deal. It only matters like a lot when you're like level 16, 17, 18. That's when you do a lot less damage with it. And his E, same thing. It's only a big deal like if the game progresses a lot when people actually stack him more. So yeah, it's not that big of a nerf. It's because games are over so fast. It would hurt him more in like pro play than actual casual games. And nearly is gaining 10 more damage on her swipe. And just to help her jungling apparently. And it is the death for Pyke top and stuff and mid. And Murdertown now stuns non-champions but deals no damage to them, so he can't really push the lane anymore, which is rip. His R deals 50% reduced damage to enemies that survive death from below. That's really good because that shit was bullshit. And Pyke kills enemy with death from below. The last ally and Pyke are granted your cut. Oh, that's nice because of that. Now it just means Pyke will get more money and the ally won't get so much money. Like, oh, that's good. That's well, it depends. It depends if wait. When Pyke assists on a kill following death from below, he receives 1 your cut, 2 your cut. So now he gets 2 gold bags. Okay, yeah. That's from so pretty much he just gets more money and the ally gets well, no, I think it's actually a buff. Yeah, I think they're buffing the money you get from him, which is to help support because since they're killing off top and mid, I think they want to give him something since that is quite a big nerf to him in terms of like split pushing the wave with the AD carry when they need it back. Death from Below's icons now shows next to Pyke's health bar when it can be cast for free. Okay. And Ryze buffs apparently HP regen went up by 1, helps laning. HP regen went up per rank or level. Overload Leona cancel Ryze movement and spam during its cast time. Overload no longer bounces back to its target. Spell flux is applied to it during bounces. E now quickly triggers manifold bind when it bounces to a champion. Spell flux, no, that's good. Spell flux no longer bounces back to its target off of other targets that flux on them. Well, this is bug fixes really, and this helps laning. Recast timer. Oh, this is the help Singe with that poison problem. Sometimes you don't know when it is on. Yeah, that's nice. This is good. Just clarity. Oh yeah, Swain. I think Swain was fine. I'm not even sure why they buffed him or like made him easier to play rather. HP health growth went down by 5 though. Attack range went down to 25. And now instead of his original passive, it's Swain permanently stored his soul fragments, increasing his max health by 5 per soul fragment. So you can actually get a lot. Like goes before, it used to not be a big deal. Like stealing souls would just give you, I think it was this HP. Collecting soul fragment restores 4.557% of Swain's mana. So yeah. You can get so fucking tanky from that. That's ridiculous. So Swain might be broken, guys. They remove Q's mana regain per death. Bolts now continue through minions, but stop with enemy champions. So he has pretty insane wave clear now. It's very easy. It's easier to know. Cooldown went up though. The range is lower, and there's more bolt or more angle between bolts. Whatever the hell that means. Instead of his R being free, it costs 100 mana. That's not a big deal because he always bolts a lot of mana. Bonus HP is a bit lower, but by the time you get to late game, it should be more HP than he currently has. And he heals less now, or no, he heals more. No, yeah, he heals less from minions and monsters. So, Swain drains all enemies within range, including visible units. I don't know why the hell invisible units wouldn't take that, but okay. I'm not sure why it wasn't that big of a. Swain doesn't need to restore HP the second cast it. I don't know why the hell people do that. They're bad if they do that. Demon flare damage from to 75% of the health Swain is drained during. So it's encouraging just to play how it's supposed to be played, which a lot of people just kept on canceling early for some reason. I think they do a lot of damage now. They literally made this thing busted. So yeah, Swain's busted. They're rebuffing Sylas after stuff happened. This little testing phase. we can actually push lane quite a bit better. His detonation damage is going up in ratio and raw damage. Ratio went up by a lot, 0.2. And his E now shields him for 2 seconds on first cast. I'm not sure if he still has his shields when he hooks someone, like the in general, because I don't know about that. The stun is lower, but the cooldown is lower. It's 14 all ranks. Because he gets a shield right now if he hooks someone, like grabs someone. So I'm not sure if that's still in. It's probably, if it is, that's absolutely insane. I don't know about that though. They lower the cast range of his R, but that's not a big deal at all. So big. You can only hold it for 90 seconds. That's not a big deal though. Cooldown is a lot higher. Yeah, that ring 3 was absolutely stupid because you literally just couldn't win at level 16. And they just nerfed the ratio slightly on his ult abilities, which is good because it shouldn't really be for the damage. It should be for the utility of ultimates. Tahm Kench looks like he was like literally just turned to a support now though. Also, good luck against Renekton. Abilities no longer deal bonus damage based on passive stacks, so that's RP, massive damage combos. If no food abilities no longer apply and acquire taste stacks, that is really rough, honestly. He gives you 3 autos, that's like ridiculous. That's actually ridiculous. On hit damage is now from 1.5 per stack to 2.5 inches max HP. Cooldown from is longer at higher ranks. No one hits melees and white arc in front of Tahm Kench. I don't know what the hell that even means. Like, I don't understand that, but okay. Stunning an enemy with tongue lash consumes all stack. Yeah, that sucks too because now you can't just like you stun them and auto and eat them or something like that. Slow is absolutely gutted. Now it's really bad at the rank 1. Rank 5 is the same as its current rank 1. Slow duration of 3 seconds. Stun duration of 2. And no longer near side by the Devour, so they can actually see what to do. Enemies are no longer stunned for 2.5 seconds after they're regurgitated, so I think it makes a WQ combo like impossible, I think. Yeah, making his W just deal 11% of the target's HP, doesn't scale, so it just helps his early game, but maximum monster damage is 500 now, from 400 to 600. Can now eat blue and red buff. I can see some really cheesy shit happening. I'm not sure if you can Q and then W the red and blue buff. That'd be really ridiculous. If he can do that, that'd be fun just because if you were support Tahm Kench, you can literally eat the red or blue buff by just Q and Wing. So if you can do that, that might get fixed because that sounds a bit good for support Tahm Kench. 80 to 100% of the great HP to 45 to 65%. He heals more, but the shield's less, pretty much. And now instead of him being very abusive with high CDR, it's now 3 like because he used to be, oh you use it and it's on cooldown, but now it's only when it breaks or runs out. I got caught by the Curricular Rex. Okay, you could have did it. You can take your time. Okay. Wow. Kurgas W recast 100.5. I think that's just making him less clunky. Oh my god, these bad shots. Whenever. What? Yeah. Her shield lower ranks, lower ranks or lower levels. No longer restores mana with her autos anymore. Less damage on her Q slightly, but it's fixed as soon as you get a little bit of ability power from like a back. So honestly, it's not that big of a deal. Her cost went up a lot though, by 15 a rank. And her E is not, it heals more. Like if a target was only missing like 20% of their HP, like, so they're at 80% of HP, they'll actually heal a bit more. You would, a good Yuumi would tend to actually save it for like about like the, the 30%, like a low threshold, so they get a ridiculous heal and catch them off guard. It also costs less mana, so but it's a bit funny. So like this whole thing literally encourages Yuumi players to go AFK. Like they're literally turning this champion to AFK. Like it's really funny. Like I I don't know. Okay, that's all I gotta say. Yeah, range top laners. So this is funny because they're like I feel like this is actually like a ridiculous buff on range top laners in general. I would say because okay, look at Jace. As far as I know, so Jace has 4 less AD. Wow, big whoop, and he has 0.75 AD a level. It's almost one. It's a quarter off. So by the time he hits, I believe level up, I think it's 5 or 6. I think it's 6. Level 6, he has the same attack damage, and yeah, oh, his Q doesn't do enough damage. The thing with Jace is that he's he can still be a lane bully, and uh by the time he's a mid game champion, so by the time mid game arrives, his AD is actually higher, and his Q does a lot more damage. So I don't know how this is a nerf. Like people are gonna complain really hard. Like Riot like underestimates growth stats a lot. Like growth stats are like the strongest thing a champion can have. If their base stats are ridiculous, they just win fights. So I think all these are pretty much the same thing. Like yeah, like see 2.5 less AD, but a bit more growth. Uh, this is a 4.5 growth. Yeah, it's the same thing with all the like attacks. Like so the only thing, the big thing I got hit here was that like with Ken, the AD thing is the same with Ken. Like so, Jason Ken, like they're still the same champions. Like I still think they're gonna be like, if not stronger. Like Ken's not so much because not really an AP. I mean an AD bully champion with like AD scaling things. Oh, Allie, calm down. Anyway, okay, interrupting my video. Uh, her attack speed actually went lower by 6.5 or 0.065, which is very slight, but it does affect. So I think that's to prevent like an AD Ken thing happening. So that's good they did that, but I don't know, maybe it also happened because of the AD ratios, because it's all about crits. But yeah, his lightning rush went up by 10%. Spaghetti so to use it, but I I don't think AD Ken will be a thing. Maybe it will, but maybe. Nico. Nico is interesting because so 480 just like the Jace, attack damage growth went up by 0.5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, so pretty much by level 9, she'll be the same. So it sort of affects her a bit more because she autos quite a bit more than Jace, a lot more than Jace. That's the only way she harasses you. And well, at least with top lane, if she would go AD, so it's more so about like AP. Because I don't think anyone even plays AD Nico anymore. It's just AP. Attack speed went a bit lower, but her attack speed growth is a lot higher. I'm not sure when this evens out with this. I would say I don't know 6 or 8. I don't know. So Nico again probably got hurt harder than uh Nico and Ken probably get hit a bit harder than Jace in terms of early game. That's fine. Nico no longer loses her disguise and basically attack enemy champions. I think that was more so like to bait people, I guess. I wish she had sort of real passive. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of her whole passive because it doesn't really work out in high level play at all. Like at all. It's like the most risky thing to do. Because if someone does something stupid, they know it's someone that's not actually them. Passive bonus, and even if it is them, it's like, okay, their AD carries just walking up and they're just gonna die instantly. She got a huge nerf on her W though. You can't like kite as well. 10% lower movement speed. So yeah, Jace actually. I see this as a Jace buff. That's the only thing that matters. Like the mid game, like level 6 guys. So yeah, this is actually a secret Jace buff because they gotta sell the Jace skins. Because Jace mains described because everyone loves Jace for some reason. And depending on how good attack speed growth is compared to the attack speed decrease, I'm not sure about Nico. I don't know. Like I only jungle Nico. I thought that was fun. I wish they made her more of a jungler. Let's change her passive to a jungle thing. Okay, Aaron balance changes. I mean, I'm not gonna read that right now. Where did bug fixes? Kindness die now. Okay, yeah, so that was people abusing shit. That's funny. That's right. Yeah, that's it, guys. So, maybe leave your comment. Tell me what you think. Like again, I don't agree with all these little changes to like, like, it's just funny because like, was there a Renekton skin coming? Is there a Blitzcrank skin coming? Because like, why is Renekton getting buffed? Like, why didn't they give this to Vi? Like, when Vi procs sending blows, uh, it breaks the shield automatically. Like that would fit the theme. Like, well, let's make this alligator crocodile thing just break shield. Like, how does that fit a theme? Like, that's also another thing I feel like is this the RuneScape, by the way. League of Legends is losing its like theme. Yeah, like does it really make sense thematically? You know. So yeah, I think I was gonna say something else. I think. Oh yeah, I think. Oh yeah, because there's champions like Vladimir who are absolutely busted, like in all levels of play, and like pick or ban in like pro play. Yet why isn't he an issue? How is Diana like a patch or two after she gets buffed an issue? Where's the Vladimir nerf? Like Vladimir's like again, baby's first top laner. Like Jesus Christ, like insanely unfun. Like you can apply Grievous moves to him. Oh, he still heals 1,000 HP because he's broken. Like Vladimir used to be that really risky pick because his early game was garbage, but now his early game's good because give everything a billion damage and runes and stuff. And um, I'm sure there was something else I was gonna say. Oh yeah, and they buff Warwick for absolutely no reason instead of fixing his bugs, and by making his the most unfun part of his kit even more unfun, which is his heal and his Q. Oh, and then what happens? Oh, Warwick skin, and it's like guys, it's not a conspiracy that they buff shit because of skins, and I always feel like because like they do it all the time, and then like it's always funny when when it starts getting talked about a lot. What does Riot do? What they do with Zed? We they gave him like a very slight nerf, just because like bronze people were complaining because like I never see Zed. The only time I see Zed is on salty Teemo streams. Okay, so that's literally iron and bronze games, and they literally gave him a nerf that like barely even matters. Like and then people, see, they don't care. They just made a skin that's being released with the nerf, like, because the nerf barely matters. Do you think the people who are buying the skin are actually gonna care? You know, so if it was like a 30 damage nerf on his Q or his E, oh yeah, that'd be whoa. No, it was like it was like cooldowns. Bronze players don't care about cooldowns; they care about damage. Okay, so yeah, um, that's it. Bye.